Hi, Coach Carla here. My review of the Beachbody Performance Lane. I've been taking the Performance Lane for about 30 days, and I think that I have enough information to be able to give to you guys. I have started every single one of my videos with Dr. Nima's introduction and who he is, and I want to just tell you how I felt with Energize. Energize is their pre-workout. It's replacing E&E. Actually, E&E is not discontinued yet, but I do like this one way, way better. I don't feel that little tingly sensation in my face. I've taken other pre-workouts and I don't like the way they make me feel. This one tastes good and I like it. So I will continue to use this one. This is great for anybody who has a supercharged workout. If you're just walking, I don't think you need it. If you're taking a leisurely stroll or bicycle ride, I don't think you need it. If you're doing a pretty strenuous workout, a great pre-workout will get you through it.
Dr. Nima. So, okay, he's got a lot of credentials here I want to go through. Dr. Nima Alandari, he's here now with us as the Scientific Affairs Board Director. He has also been on faculty at Harvard University, and he's also done his postdoctoral training at Harvard Medical School, and he's got a PhD at the University of Nottingham. So welcome, Dr. Nima.
Thanks, Andy.
The science behind the lineup.
Okay, sure. It's been established science that certain ingredients, when positioned at the right times, can absolutely help us perform better, keep us hydrated, or allow us to recover and adapt better. So we've put forward a really smart nutritional strategy at the right time, so pre, during, and post-exercise, as well as nighttime, which is a really hot topic right now in the research community.
Okay, let's start with the pre-workout formula, Energize.
Yeah, I'm really excited about Energize. It's a great tool. We've got 3 key ingredients that work in distinct ways to help improve exercise performance. You might remember I talked a little bit about lactic acid buildup causing that muscle burn feeling and fatigue. Well, beta-alanine is a key ingredient to combat that. Here's how it works. Beta-alanine is a natural amino acid that we get in our diet, mainly from meat, but we don't get enough from our diet to reach the active dose. When you get the active dose, beta-alanine works by increasing our muscle carnotin levels, which reduces the lactic acid buildup in our muscles and delays time to fatigue. So it's been shown to be really effective for high-intensity exercise, such as high-intensity interval training, or such as the types of training you might see in Insanity or Max 30, or some of our more advanced exercise programs. But 2 more things to note. Beta-alanine is not a one-hit wonder. It does become more effective with repeated use over time. It takes about 4 weeks to build up in the system, so you really reap the rewards from repeated usage. Secondly, some of you might be familiar with the tingling or itching feeling you might get when taking beta-alanine or Energize, but that's the beta-alanine getting in your system. It's perfectly normal, it's nothing to be worried about, and it generally goes away when you start exercising intensely. It also generally subsides over time with repeated usage. Okay, so caffeine also has been known to be a very helpful performance-enhancing ingredient and widely established to help with focus, reaction time, cognitive performance, and exercise performance. But what hasn't been established until recently is that low doses or very low doses of caffeine are equally as effective as high doses, but without the nasty side effects like jitters, nervousness, anxiety, or the inability to sleep. So the third component, quercetin, is a plant-based phytonutrient found naturally in fruits and vegetables like apples and onions. In multiple studies, quercetin has been shown to improve exercise performance and reduce fatigue. It's still not known exactly how it works in the body, but it's thought that it might work as an energy booster in our cells or by reducing exercise-induced inflammation. But before we move on, you might have noticed that there are also different options for serving sizes, and this is actually a key feature of our customization, which accounts for your body weight. So therefore, the dose that will be provided will depend on your body weight.
So can we go back a second to the beta-alanine? I keep hearing about it. What is so great about it?
Yeah, sure. There's a growing body of evidence that beta-alanine, by some of the best in the world, that beta-alanine is a performance-enhancing ingredient. So you can see here, the figure to the right is a list of studies across multiple different sports, such as swimming, rowing, sprinting, and cycling. And these studies show that beta-alanine has a significant benefit to performance, particularly for bouts of high-intensity exercise lasting 1 to 4 minutes. It's also been shown to work when doing high-intensity intervals with a longer period of exercise, meaning it can really work when you're sprinting at the end of a long race or when you're doing high-intensity intervals that are found in so many of our Beachbody fitness programs. So also you'll see that studies have shown that 800 milligrams is the ideal dose both for efficacy and for comfort, meaning it's the lowest dose that still works effectively while minimizing the tingling or itching some people might feel. Other competitive pre-workout formulas on the market start with 1,600 milligrams or even 3,000 milligrams per dose. This would be quite unsuitable or really uncomfortable for many women or people at lower body weights, and generally the formulas are not well designed with lower body weight people or women in mind. Also, its effects are known to be compounded by repeated usage, meaning the longer you take it, the better it will work for you. You should really feel a major difference after 4 to 10 weeks of use.
Let's go back to the low-dose caffeine. What is new about that?
Yeah, a few things, Sandy. Actually, the landscape in caffeine research has shifted, with researchers looking at what low doses or very low doses can do for performance. As I mentioned, we've long known that caffeine has been a great performance-enhancing effect, but high caffeine doses are associated with side effects. Low doses have recently been shown to have similar performance benefits, but without those effects of higher doses. So if you look at the chart on the right, the column A is the control with no caffeine. Column B is the low dose of caffeine and shows improved time to exhaustion. However, if you look at the very far right-hand column, the AB, with the highest dose, it shows that it was not effective in improving performance versus the control with no caffeine. So just like I mentioned with beta-alanine, too much of a good thing, in this case, caffeine levels, can actually be counterproductive. So that's basically why we use low-dose caffeine, plus we get it from a natural green tea source versus the synthetic anhydrous forms that you might see a lot in the market.
Okay, and lastly, what about the quercetin?
Yeah, quercetin is the most researched phytonutrient in exercise or exercise performance. So you can see here the chart to the right shows that multiple studies have proven that quercetin improves exercise performance and VO2 max. And VO2 max is just a measure of your maximum oxygen capacity during exercise. And quercetin has been shown to help improve that capacity.
Dr. Nima, we had some questions come up from our test group that I think this audience would like to hear the answers to. So can I take you through all these? Why do I feel tingling or itching in my hands and face from the Energize product?
Yeah, as I mentioned, it's actually coming from beta-alanine. So beta-alanine is an amino acid that's found naturally in our food and diet. For some people, it's known that it'll induce a sense of tingling or itching, which means it's getting into your bloodstream. Nothing to worry about. It just means that it's in your bloodstream. It's totally normal. And for most people, the feeling subsides with exercise and with repeated use over time. It's worth just repeating that the dose we use is 800 milligrams, and this is the dose that multiple studies show is the minimum level needed to be effective, but also provides the most comfort in terms of less tingling than higher doses. It's also based on body weight, if you weigh less, you may feel it more. So the point is that you can tailor based on your weight, which makes this much more customizable, particularly for women. Other pre-workouts on the market generally have much higher doses of beta-alanine, which can be really uncomfortable or put people off.
Okay, why is the color of Energize such a bright yellow? Is that natural?
Yeah, the vibrant yellow color of Energize actually is natural from quercetin. Quercetin is naturally found in fruits and vegetables such as skins of apples and onions and grapes. The bright color is attributed really to the purity and the potency of the quercetin we use, meaning the brighter the color, the purer the quercetin is. So if you see another product out there with quercetin as an ingredient and it's not that bright yellow colour, then the quality could be inferior or the dose too low to actually have an effect.
Interesting. Now, I'm sure people want to know, are there plans to discontinue our E&E product?
No plans yet, none as far as I know.
So how is this different than E&E? People have noticed that E&E has arginine, but Energize does not. In fact, there are many ingredients found in competitor pre-workout formulas that are not included in Energize. Why is that?
Yeah, really good question, Sandy. I'll address those in the following slides. Okay, so arginine is featured in both E&E and other pre-workouts on the market. And keep in mind that E&E was formulated back in around 2010 and 2011. Research has progressed since then, and scientific consensus since 2013 is now that arginine just does not play an important role in improving performance. So looking at the top graph there, where placebos were tested against arginine, you'll see the flat lines show there's no difference between the placebos and arginine on VO2 max. The graph at the bottom shows no difference between placebo and L-arginine in performance as measured by time to exhaustion. So this has been confirmed even in the last month, where another important paper coming from world leaders in the field of nitric oxide and exercise performance shows that arginine does not have an impact on exercise performance. Lastly, and I think interestingly, arginine is known to be a vasodilator, meaning it expands your blood vessels and increases blood flow, whereas caffeine is a slight vasoconstrictor, meaning it restricts blood flow. So these formulas that have both caffeine and arginine in them aren't particularly well thought out because the mechanisms actually lack synergy, but also can actually oppose each other.
Cool. Okay, another question. Why are there no antioxidant vitamins C and E?
Yeah, this is a really hot topic at the moment, with most performance supplements actually fortifying with high levels of vitamin C and E. But these studies show that these high levels of vitamin antioxidants can actually hamper adaptations to exercise, particularly when taken near the exercise window.
Now, what about vitamin B? I thought that was for energy.
Yeah, we don't fortify with vitamin B either, and it's similarly been shown that vitamin B does not improve exercise performance. There might be a role for people with B vitamin deficiencies, but that's just not a problem for people if they have a balanced and healthy diet.
Okay, and what about creatine? Why no creatine in Energize?
Yeah, there's a few reasons. First of all, the best way to take creatine is with carbohydrate or protein to create the insulin response needed to get creatine into the muscle. And the best time to take creatine has been shown to be post-workout, not pre-workout. That's why we don't have creatine in Energize. Still part of the Beachbody Performance lineup, but we recommend that you take it with a high protein recover shake after a workout where we know that it will be more effective. So if you see other competitor pre-workouts with creatine, there's generally a few things that you might want to look at. First, is there any carbohydrate or protein in the formula? If not, the creatine will just not be as effective. Second, how much of the creatine is in there? There needs to be at least 3 to 5 grams to be effective, and anything less will likely just not work. Third, what is the form of creatine in there that they're using? If it's not creatine monohydrate, then it's just not the best. You'll see that many competitor pre-workout formulas contain other forms of creatine, like creatine nitrate, magnesium chelate, claiming better improved absorption, better bioavailability, and better performance than creatine monohydrate. But repeated studies have shown that this is just not true. So just don't buy, my advice would be, don't buy into the marketing hype about the other forms of creatine. Creatine monohydrate has the most proven track record by far in multiple different sports and exercises to improve performance, and also has the best safety track record too.